K Flock has a RICO indictment against him and the gang that he is affiliated with out of the Bronx. Now, I want to be clear on this. I told y'all before, the government is playing zero games. Mandatory minimum, life in prison. BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently the K Flock situation has gotten dramatically worse because him and at least 6 others, I believe 7 others, defendants or individuals are now defendants, have been indicted on a RICO. Okay. Now I want to be clear about something. One, Jack Frost, this Frost, has told y'all, there's only one Jake Frost, has told y'all that this was coming in New York City for a while. So, before I read off the actual charges, just give me 1 minute to say this. Do y'all remember when I told y'all that the New York City Police Department was putting together well, I didn't tell y'all, they said it, but they said they were putting together a task force specifically for the Bronx and Brooklyn drill music. Do you remember when I told you that? Do you remember when I said, if you're doing drill music in the Bronx and or Brooklyn, make sure that you aren't doing any actual crimes? So y'all all had warnings, and this was before K Flock situation where he ended up shooting the Oscar Hernandez guy. We all know that, or the situation happened with Oscar Hernandez and him at the barbershop, where Oscar Hernandez isn't with us anymore. He was the young man that came out of the barbershop to confront K Flock, and then K Flock tried to walk away, and then situations transpired that made it so someone shot Oscar Hernandez. I'm not sure if K Flock's attorney is saying it wasn't him, it was him, self-defense. I'm not sure what they're claiming. But in New York, remember, to be able to even take a self-defense case to court and be able to use that as a defense is pretty difficult in New York City, just in general, especially because of our gun laws. It's just hard to be able to take that to court and win it. With that being said, K Flock's new charges in this RICO that just pulled up on him is racketeering conspiracy, obviously, murder in the aid of racketeering, wowzers, use of a firearm resulting in death, wowzers, attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon in the aid of racketeering, use of a firearm for attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon. Now, real quick, the reason why you see racketeering on so many of these things, just so we can be clear, racketeering is whenever you do anything at all in the furtherance of a criminal organization. So when you guys are busy out there yelling out your gang that you belong to, and then you're putting that on social media, and that gang turns out to be a criminal organization, that's a crime. Even if you committed 0 other crimes, that is a crime. You can tell me it's not all you want, pull up in the chat, make videos, say I don't know what I'm talking about. But that is a crime because you are promoting a criminal organization trying to get other people to join. At least that's what the law is going to say. That's what they're going to tell everybody. You're trying to get more people to be a part of your criminal organization. Racketeering. So just so we can be clear, K-Flock recently, I don't know how recent this was, but they did put it out that he was expecting to be released in March of 2023. That would be next month. Now listen to what I have to say here, especially for all of y'all aspiring prisoners. Yes, if you're out here just doing crimes, thinking that you're not going to go to jail, you're an aspiring criminal. So for all of y'all aspiring convicts, pardon me, because you're criminal first, hopefully you're criminal first. I would hate to hear them. I hate when they put people who aren't criminals in jail for criminality, because then the law has effed up. But for you, all of you aspiring convicts, listen to me very clearly. When they give you a charge, very rarely do they back up off of any of the charges that they have given you. You have to then fight your way out of said charge. Why is this important? Because K-Flock's mandatory is life in prison or death. And since New York City does not have the death penalty, I don't know. I'm assuming they're just saying, we're going to hold you until you die. Now, why is that important? Listen and pay attention. In many cases, life in prison is basically 60 years. I'm going to give you a good example. Just recently, the dude, the guy, the rat, whatever you want to call him, that had taken Nipsey Hussle from us, got 60 years to life. Now, if you really want to break that down and understand what they mean by that is, by them giving him 60 years to life, that's, I think, opening up the ability for him to get parole. I'm not 100% sure. Put it down in the chat if you know more about the California laws than I do. But when they say life in prison, generally, that's 60 years. Yes. For everybody that don't know. Generally speaking. So for them to say mandatory life in prison or death basically means that he has no way, if found guilty of these charges, of ever leaving prison. I believe, how old was he when he got arrested? About 17? He hasn't even lived any. He's lived none. Now, I just want to say a couple of more things real quick, and I'm going to let y'all go. I ain't going to hold y'all too long. But I need for y'all to understand that when you are the K-Flock of your gang, when you are the top earner, when you are the headliner, when you are the biggest name on the bill, if you don't think people are going to snitch on you, you are crazy. You are insane. Mike? You have people out here, especially the older gentlemen, that they don't want to go to jail at 30, at 40, and then do 20 years, do 30 years. They don't want to go to jail at 35 and do 25. If you don't think these dudes is talking, I don't know what to tell you. Because they're going to say, well, you know what? He only 17. They only going to, they're going to make it seem like they didn't know. They only going to give him about 20 years. He's 17. He going to get out. He going to be able to live his life. They're making sure K-Flock cannot get out. Now, I need for y'all to understand this. These dudes have put up so much social media content where they're outside doing gang. These guys was filming themselves going to do drills. These guys were filming themselves looking for the ops to shoot at them. Now, just so we could be clear, do y'all remember Rondo number 9? Yes, this is one of those situations where even if they can't prove definitively any of these crimes without a shadow of a doubt, which they most likely can, there's enough evidence already put out into the world to display the individual's character and to make it look like the charges in which they're accused of is what their lifestyle exactly is. So at this point, just being honest with you, the only way K-Flock is getting out of this is if the government wants him to snitch on something. Because he is the headliner. He is the top of the bill. And I'm going to tell you what's going on now if you haven't seen what's going on in Atlanta with YSL. When you are the breadwinner, they're not allowing you to snitch no more unless you're snitching on a bigger breadwinner. So the fact that he's now caught up in a situation where he is facing life in prison or death, so they're not letting him go. He has to hope, and this is if he decides snitching is an option, which most likely he isn't. He has to hope that there's something that they want him to tell on. Now I'm about to say something, and I need y'all to pay attention if you didn't know no better. Right? Listen. Pay attention. This is important. These record labels, they expect for this to happen to you. These record labels that sign these drill artists, they expect for you to go to jail sooner or later and then never get out. They expect you to get killed. They expect this. They saw what happened with K-Flock. Pardon me. They saw what happened with Tay-K. Not K-Flock, Tay-K. They saw that Tay-K went to jail and did numbers. That's not money that Tay-K is going to see. You know how many 360s K-Flock has probably already signed for measly dollars? He probably signed a couple of 360s for no money. So you know when you go watch his video, he's not getting any of those monies. You know when you go listen to his music, he's not getting any of those monies. You know when you go enjoy any of the media that he makes that you like, he's not getting any of those monies. Whoever owns the rights are. That's why they sign you and they say, don't worry, we'll take care of your Instagram. Don't worry, we'll take care of your YouTube. They want to have control over it because after you die and or go to jail, they want to be able to still keep making money off of you. That's why they put you in the studio. That's how they have you make a whole lot of verses, a whole lot of tracks, a whole lot of songs. And then while you're locked up, now they got those verses that they could throw in a song over here, throw in a song over there, and they still making money off you. So this is all I have to say about all of you rappers that feel like you're gonna make it out here in the world and you're still gonna be in the street shooting the block up. I want y'all to get ready. Just get prepared. Go fold your socks. Make sure that your underwear is nice and ironed. I do not iron underwear, but if you want to, you can. Make sure you train yourself how to make jail meals. And make sure that you become comfortable looking at other men all day, every day. Because that's what you're looking forward to. That's what you're shooting for. You're shooting for going to jail and spending a lot of your time locked up with other men. Now, this is no hate towards K-Flock. This is no hate towards any of the organizations in which he's a part of. I've purposely not said any of those names. Because at this point that this brother, this young brother was led astray. This young brother was taught to live a lifestyle which now have made it so that he's lived his best years. And just so we can be clear, if you're 17, how many of those years did you actually spend outside? Let's say he was outside for 7 years of his life. He was coming outside since he was 10. That's 7 years of his life that he was able to come outside and enjoy life. Now he's about to spend, unless he snitches, unless he has something that he can snitch on, now he's about to spend the rest of his life all screwed up in prison. This is what I have to say about K-Flock. Whatever you got, Andrew Lightman, right? He's a really good attorney, but he does attorney work for other rappers, right? You need to drop him. No disrespect. You need to drop him, and you need to go get Gunner's lawyer. And then you need to prepare to move out of the Bronx if they take any of these snitchings that you are prepared to do. Because if you are not prepared to snitch, homeboy, you are not beating any of these charges, you're done. Now, I'm not advocating snitching. I'm advocating not doing any crimes. Realistically, you need to not snitch and go do your time. But let's be honest. He's been locked up for how long? They've probably pulled up on him how many times? Trying to convince him to do this or convince him to do that. And they did him exactly like they did Casanova. When we try to get you to snitch, and then you don't want to snitch, we're just going to keep adding charges. Keep adding charges. Because once they add those charges, now you have to be held accountable for those charges. You get it? So now they added enough charges to get him to life in prison. The only way they're going to back up off of those charges is if he snitch. And he's going to have to openly snitch. And he's going to most likely have to snitch in open court. Why? Because they most likely came to him numerous other times and told him to snitch. And his attorney, Andrew Lightman, was defending him and said, we could get you off. Now, I just want to point something out. K Flock said March of 2023 is when he expects to be out. I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew Lightman just knew that if he could keep him quiet to March of 2023, that's when the RICO was going to drop. Wink, wink. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.